question everything else they put on there, right? So what we believe and what we fill our minds is crucial. And so it may not seem like a lot that we're going over one verse, but we have to grasp the fact that the outside world and the devil wants you to think that God doesn't exist. They want you to think that He's not everything He says He was. And so we have these theories out there that try to disprove that. But in 1 Corinthians 14:40, Paul said that all things must be done in an orderly manner. So if you're out there and you kind of believe in God, you kind of believe in the Big Bang Theory, you think God Big Banged it, and God had His hand in evolutionizing things, that's a God of order. He doesn't make things out of a mess. Paul just told us that everything we must do in an orderly manner. That goes for the very things of God. That's His nature. That's His attributes. God wouldn't make a big mess and then go, woo, here you go. That's not how He works. That's not how He works. What I want you to get is that there is a Creator. Our faith is believing in something that you cannot see, but you are certain is true. You can have faith in anything. Something, so I don't mess it up. Faith is believing in something that you cannot see, but you are certain is true. Believing in those theories requires faith. It requires faith to believe in God. It requires faith to believe this very first verse of the Bible. But one thing I want you to see is I've got some spurs, some handmade spurs here. Here's some handmade spurs, right? I used to sell tack, and you know what makes these spurs valuable? Nothing. I know the guy that made it. It's a joke. It's a joke. The name on the outside. You know, there's all kinds of big spur collectors out there, and what makes them valuable is the name that is stamped on them. But from a distance, you can't really tell who made them, but you know certain spur makers' attributes, and you look at them and you go, man, those must be clappers or something, because they kind of look like what Billy Clapper did with spurs. But you don't know until you get up on them, until you look and you see the name. Okay? I did not see the guy make these spurs. I did not see Billy Stout, our drummer, make these spurs. I did not see him physically do anything to make them. How do I know he made them? How do I know he didn't get them from overseas, put his name on them, and somebody else made them? How do I know that? I believe Billy. When Billy says, I have a shop here at my house. I have spurs here that I'm building. My spurs look kind of like those spurs you're building. I didn't see the designer or the builder of these spurs. But I believe there is one, right? Just like I didn't see the guy that designed my pants. But I know there's a guy that designed them and made them. Right? Can you see God? What does it take to realize He's there? All we have to do is look around at all that He created. Anybody ever seen anything beautiful in God's creation? There's tons of it. My wife and I, we went to Colorado last year, and there's things that I fathom about how God made it. The Royal Gorge, I sky coasted out over. It's like 1,300 feet tall, and I swung out over the Royal Gorge. You look down, there's a long way down there. That probably wasn't the smartest move I made. But then you go, and then you get up in the mountains, and you get to the top of Pikes Peak. And at the bottom, you're sweating. It's 82 degrees. And you ride that train for 2 hours up the mountain. And you get to the top, and it's 32 degrees. Simple things. My dad and my brother and I went Friday afternoon to Munster, Texas to play at Turtle Hill Golf Course. And my brother's always talked about this infamous the hole, he calls it. The hole. What makes the hole special? Well, when you hit it, the hole is way down there. It's 160 yards out there, but it's way down there on the drop-off. You can't see where you're hitting it. You just stand on the tee box, you hit the ball, and it goes and it falls. Well, there's like hole number 3 is like that. And so all I've heard about is this infamous hole, Turtle Hill Golf Course. The hole. So we get to hole number 3, and I can kind of see the green down there. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. What's the fuss about this? So we go on playing. We go on. We get to the back 9. And then we pull up on hole number 11. Hole number 11 is the hole. Hole number 3 was just the hole. Hole number 11 is the hole. When you get to the top of that hole, it looks backwards from the town you came from. It doesn't look towards Munster, doesn't look towards Nocona. It looks out across the country. And you can see for miles and miles and miles. There's big oak trees. There's big, just beautiful trees all the way out through there. And then just green fields. To the right, you can see 1 or 2 houses, but you don't see any roads, any power lines, just God's country. And the greatest thing about it is there's cattle out there. And God does it just for me because He loves me. He puts them on the hill where I can see them. They're never like laying down in the shade. You know why? Because the first time I pulled up on that hole, I walked up there and I got to the tee box and I looked and I said, holy smokes, Batman. The first verse that popped into my mind, and then this isn't crazy preacher talk. I mean, verses don't just pop into my mind all the time. But when I saw that, and I thought about God, I thought of the verse, Psalm 50:10 says, He owns a cattle like 1,000 hills. He created all of that for my enjoyment. How many times do we take for granted that first verse of the Bible and we just kind of throw it out there that, yeah, there's some creator? How many times have you seen something absolutely breathtaking and not stop to give God thanks for it? He created it. We didn't see Him create it, but all you got to do is look around at a sunset and recognize that He created it. The very next point that I want to make is the creation story of the Bible. Everything that we see around us proves that there is a designer. It proves that God is real. And so, moving forward, I'm not going to read 31 verses to you. Y'all heard me read. It's not pretty. See? Here we go. Amen. Here we go. I want you this week to read Genesis 1 through 1:31. Read verses 1 through 31 this week. It tells the story of creation. It tells what He created when. It says He created the heavens and the earth. He created the expanse of the heavens, the waters. It's cool stuff when you read the story. He created the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, created dry land, made vegetation sprout up. God is awesome, and how He made everything is right there. Read that this week. But what I want you to know is that God is in control. Do you know that if our earth was any smaller, the gravitational pull would be different and we would just float out into space? You people that go and I had a really good point, I just ruined it. You people that diet, yo-yo up and down, y'all would love that. You'd weigh less with no gravity, right? That was funny. I ruined it. I told you I ruined it. If the earth was bigger and put us any closer to the sun than we already are, you know, we'd be like human chips. We'd be like human tater chips. We would fry. God is in control. He made everything just the way it needs to be. And the next thing is that God, the reason that people don't want to accept that God is our creator, you know why they don't want to accept the creation that the Bible teaches? It means they got to believe in something more powerful than them. God is our creator. God is in control. God is all powerful. I'm going to make this point right here, and then we're going to get to the end right here. God is all powerful. He's in control. He made everything exactly the way He wanted it to be, and He is all powerful. We cannot fathom. If you've got your pen out like I told you to do, I'm going to read a verse out of Ecclesiastes to you, and it explains to us that we can't fathom how powerful God is. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 16 and 17 says, "When I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to see the task which had been done on earth, even though one should never sleep day or night, and I saw the work of God, I concluded, man cannot discover the work which has been done under the sun." You can't fathom how powerful God is. Isn't that amazing? You know what that means to me? Is that I don't have to worry. If I truly put it all in His hands, He's all powerful. God can control it. We talked a few weeks ago about giving your cares to God. Give it to Him. He can control it. He is all powerful, powerful beyond what we can fathom. So what does all this mean to me, preacher? I'm going to close with 3 quick points right here. And for the next 3 weeks, after today, we're going to close with 3 points. We're going to change 3 things. The first thing we're going to change each week is we're going to change our minds. We're going to change our mindset. We're going to change our minds, and we're going to believe that God is who He says He is in His Word. Right? Because if I can trust what He says about salvation, I should be able to trust what He says about who He is in the beginning. Today, you may have come here with your mind going, I really didn't think about it. I really don't care. I want you to change your mind. I want you to begin to care, because without that, you're just floating around and you don't stand for a thing. I want you to change your mindset. Believe that the first verse of the Bible, God created. The second thing I want you to change is I want you to change your heart. I want you to decide to love God. Why? Because He loves us. He didn't have to create us. He's in control. He's powerful. Our heart needs to change. We need to love God, not because God's done something miraculous in your life. You need to love God just for being God. Just for who He is. Because why? Because He loves us. Psalm 139:14 says, "I praise You because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." Do you know that full well? Have you accepted that in your heart, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made? That God created you? Do you know that in your heart of hearts? Do you know that? That full well means you know it without any backing up. You know it without any questions. Do you know that about God and His creation? That He made you and He loves you. Full well. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. The third thing I want you to change is I want you to change your actions. If we truly believe that first verse of the Bible, that God is who He said He is, that He is the Creator God, that means that God has touched everything that we see, even the ugly people. Don't pat your neighbor, that's just rude. You can't tell them that in church. I was just kidding. But really and truly, everything we see was touched by God. And so what should change in our actions? How should we change? We need to change how we treat everything God created. Whether it's throwing your trash down at the park, whether it's throwing a Coke bottle out, going down the window, that's somebody's ranch, that's somebody's property, that's somebody else's burden when you do that to them. You're saying, God, I enjoy your beautiful creation, but here you go. Here's some trash to trash it up. We need to change our actions. How do we treat others? How do you treat God's creation? God does not make junk, and so everybody around you that you see, even the ugly people, even the stupid people, even the idiots in your own mind, God created them and He loves them. How do you treat them? Today was one verse, and I hope you leave here with a better understanding of what that first verse in the Bible means. I hope you leave here with a changed mind, accepting the fact of who God is, a changed heart, loving God because He loved us first. And then because of those two things, we can leave here today changing our actions, living a different life than we lived before, because we love God and we want to live for Him. If you're here today and you don't know that, and I said something that makes you go, oh, God is who He says He is. Not taking any credit. I'm not saying I said anything to anybody today that will make you go, whoa.